Hello, tea timers. Hello, tea timers. Come on in. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. It's that hour and it's that time. Tea time with Tracey. Tune in, everyone. Come on in. Tell your friend. Tell your family. I'm on. It's tea time with Tracey. Come on in, everyone. So glad you're here. Come on in. It's tea time with Tracey. Please be sure to share. Tell everyone to come on in. We got a hot topic on tonight. Look forward to having this time with you. Come on in. Please, when you come in, share, and send up your hearts because the hearts warm my heart. It's tea time with Tracey. Come on in. Sing with me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's tea time with Tracey. Come on in, everyone. We're going to go right into this wonderful topic. Come on in. When you come in, please be sure to share. So glad you're here. Come on in. Yes, thank you for tuning in with Tea Time with Tracey. I am so glad that you are here with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you for coming in to Tea Time with Tracey. Listen, we are in for a wonderful time on tonight. I just want to get the particulars out of the way, as I always do. And you all know that I always make sure that I acknowledge my people that are coming in. Hello, Wanza. Oh, there go my administrator. Montrese is here. Wanza is here. Keep them coming. Cynthia, you're here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please be sure to share on your page. Share. So, we're going to have a wonderful time tonight. But let me just say this, what's going on with Tea Time with Tracey on tonight. Well, before I tell you that, let me tell you what Tea Time with Tracey is all about. Tea Time with Tracey is where we come together to have discussions about building our relationships with our family, with our spouses, with our children, creating unbreakable bonds because we're there. We have our relationships, our bonds are tight. The enemy cannot infiltrate. Where there's unity, there is strength. And so what we're trying to do here, we have different types of discussions whereby we can help one another build each other and we can go from there. Okay, and so just know this, that everyone's opinion matters here. Hello, Stephen, glad to see you. Everyone's opinion matters here. Male opinion, all opinions matters. So we really appreciate you all taking the time to tune in with us on tonight. I just want to get a few more people to come on in, and then we will dive right into the subject matter. As you all know, the subject matter on tonight is the journey of mothers with sons. Now, I came about with this one because we have one of our viewers, Michelle Jenkins, which I'm going to make sure that she's here. She had made mention to me. She says, what about mothers with sons? And I'm sure that has been quite a bit of people's opinion. They understand that I had written a book called An Unbreakable Bond, the Ultimate Mother and Daughter Relationship. Well, there are also mothers who do have great relationships with their sons and that they're trying to build these bonds with them. And that too is important, as well as it is with mothers and daughters, is just as important as it is with your son. There's an echo? Really? There is an echo coming? Wow. I wonder why. Is there still an echo? Because I haven't been having those lately. I don't know. Maybe it's because, please let me know if you still hear an echo. So, Can you all post? Can you type in something there, because I did something a little different this time. I'm going live also on YouTube, so I just want to make sure that I'm good. I might end that one. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. You didn't hear an echo. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I just want to let you all know that just as it is important for our relationships to be to create an unbreakable bond with our daughters, it is also important that we have unbreakable bonds with our sons. And so I am not a mother of a son, but I do have a son-in-law. Thank you, Jesus. And I also have a grandson. And so I know on every level, when it comes down to raising daughters, there are different stages. There is a journey with us. Well, I'm sure that there's also a journey with mothers with sons. And so I decided to speak with my daughter. And I said, well, my daughter, Cola Roberts, I'm so proud of her. She has a little boy, which is my grandson, Ryan, which I call him grandson. And then she's expecting with a daughter, which is I'm going to have a granddaughter on the way. So I'm super duper excited about that. And so I figure let's take this time and take this moment to allow her to come and share with you, not just with you, but we all going to interact on here and discuss what the journey is like for mothers with sons and the things that they have, what their concerns are. Now, I want to say this. The specific reason why I thought it was an ideal time for us to come about with this is because come September, I will be doing a special segment called The Love of My Brothers. And I'm going to have a panelist of 7 men who are very dear to me, who have been a great inspiration. So I want to lead this up into us dealing with sons and men and just on that level, because we know that together we are better. We as women, it's not just us, but we also need our brothers to help us. So that's what this is going. And also to let you all know, along on that matter, I also am going to be doing another giveaway in September at that same time. So I need y'all to stay in touch with me and stay in tune and follow me, because we have some great things ahead. So at this time, I'm going to ask Kohler to come and to speak with you all, and we're just gonna talk here. You know how we do at Tea Time with Tracey. So come on, please tell your friend, tell your family. Be sure to come on in and share on your page. I'm gonna be sharing on my page, but I'm gonna let her just talk to you for a minute while I do what I do. All right. So come on and welcome her. Send up your hearts. Say hello, Cola. Say thank you for joining us. And we're going to talk about mothers, the journey of mothers with sons.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, when I come on, I like to say, it's coffee time with Cola, with the K, coffee time with Cola.
Oh, dear.
Come on in, come on in. But hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate all the love, and I'm actually excited about this topic because I think it's something that is really important, especially right now with everything that's going on. Being a mother to a Black son, a Black little boy that's going to be a Black young man, that's going to be a Black grown man. I think it's very important for us to have these conversations.
Exactly.
I'm not by any means a specialist, a pro. Nobody knows exactly what is right and what is wrong. But I think this is a great forum for us to get together and talk about the things that we think about as women with boys, whether they're 3, like my son, he's 3, whether they're preteens, adults, grown men. We all have things that we think about, and there's a journey as a mother to a son. So I really wanted to start with the very beginning. The very beginning is what do you expect, or what What are you excited for? Once you find out you're having a boy, if you know ahead of time, or once the doctor delivers the baby and say, it's a boy, there are things that go through your mind. And you have the things that you're excited for, and then you have the things that you're nervous for. And I'll start off, and feel free to chime in with anything.
Yes, please be sure your comments are welcome here. All comments, please keep them on a positive basis, but we are to help one another. That's what we do. It's all about us being helpers of one another. So you know what we do here with Tea Time with Tracey. Everyone express your comments and we take our conversation from there. Each one reach one, right? Together we are better. So
yes. Okay, so when I found out I was having a boy, the number one things that I was thinking about was, I can't believe that I'm going to have a little baby that one day is going to grow up and be this giant, strong man. And I'm really tiny. So if anyone met me in person, I'm 5'5" on a good day. And I'm a small framed woman, and I just thought it was the most beautiful thing to one day just have this giant man, and he's just looking down at me like, hi mommy. Like, I always just thought that would be so beautiful, that I know no matter what, even though I have my husband, that I will have my son that is always my protector, my big strong. Yeah, he'll always be my baby, but he'll go from like my little baby to my protector, and just who loves mommy. So I thought that was so beautiful. And then of course, you think about sports, and he's gonna be the MVP, and he's gonna play basketball or football or track or soccer or baseball. You just go through your mind all the possibilities and how great he's gonna be, and active, and he's gonna be handsome, and you think of all these things, and it's beautiful. And then you think of, he's going to be a mommy's boy, because everybody say that boys are attached to their mamas. They love their mamas, and it don't matter what they mama do, they love their mama. So you feel like no matter what, I have this little boy in the world that's going to be a grown man, and no matter what, he will always be attached to his mom. Now, on the flip side, the things that you think of that makes you nervous with having a son. And let's be very honest.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hello, Michelle. I'm glad you're here. As you can see, we took you up on your word. Michelle Jenkins is one of our great viewers, Tea Time viewers, and we decided to bring about this here topic matter because we really appreciate our viewers and their thoughts and their opinions and what they like to see. So please, Michelle, be sure to write in your comments on the things that you would like for us to discuss. Thank you.
Yes. So now, hello. So now we're going to go to the things that we think about, that we're worried about. What are your hopes for him as he grows?
That comes from Montrese.
Yes. Before I answer that question, I just really quick want to go on the parts that we think about as a mother, that we're nervous about when we find out or we know we're having a boy. Just being transparent, being just a daughter and not having a brother, just me and my mom. I didn't think about what guys go through. I didn't think about what their changes are, what their experiences might be. I was just thinking about me as a woman, because of course, growing up, the number one thing you hear from anybody, any adult, is be careful from them boys. They only want one thing, and don't let them do this or don't let them do that.
That's
and
right.
Don't let them break your heart, and be careful, and don't trust so fast, and all the cons, of the beware of the boys.
Can we get some hearts, please? Thank you.
Yeah, the beware of the boys is what you learn as a young woman. So of course, growing up, you have your guard up and you're just like, I know what you want and stuff like that. But you don't really think about nothing for a man. You don't think about what they go through. I didn't think about that until I became a wife and until I became a mother to a son. And now I think about I was taught about being used by a guy or a guy hurting me, but guess what? My baby could be hurt by a woman. He could be used by a woman. A woman can break his heart, and then not just that, but I have to think about my son walking down the street and, something happening, or, someone thinking that he looks tough. What does look tough mean? Because he's a big guy, or because he has muscles and now somebody wants to fight him because he looks tough, or, things like that. Or now guy, he has to worry about the area he goes to. And now these, not now, but always, you have to worry about maybe police officers. You got to worry about, gang members, or it's so much that they have to go through an experience that I think we don't think about until we have sons.
Wow, that's deep that you say that, because you're absolutely right. Because my focal point in raising my daughter, all I'm looking at is protecting her. All I'm seeing is, I'm not thinking about that mother who has a son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about, okay, well, I know how I feel about my daughter and how I want my daughter to be protected, or just not thinking that the mother of a son has those concerns.
Mm-hmm.
The same concerns that I have, the mother of a son have the same concerns. That's
yes.
good.
Mm-hmm. So those are a few concerns. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. I'm just talking about as soon as you find out that you're having a boy, or as soon as you know that you're having a boy. Now, I just want to answer the question that Montrese asked. She said, what are your hopes for him as he grows?
I'm talking about your son.
Yes. So my personal hopes for my son as he grows is that he believes in God. I think that's very, very important.
Foundation.
Yes, because I want my son to know, and he's only 3, and I tell him now, mommy and daddy don't know everything, but guess who can always guide you in the right direction? God. I want all of my children to always remember to put God first, because whenever you're in doubt, God will bring you out. That's just how I feel. That's just what I know. And I want him to be be goal oriented, but I also want him to know how to enjoy life. A quality that I know that my son has from me is that he's hard on himself, and I see it now. Number one thing, parents in general, not just to sons, to girls, observe your child. My mom, that's the number one advice she has given to me. Mm-hmm. Study your child. Observe your child. Look at how they react to things. Look at what they pick up. Look at what they're drawn to. Look at those things, because that's important, and it shows you just a little bit of your baby. And it might seem like nothing when they're a toddler, but then as they grow up, you're like, I remember you used to do this when you were little, but I didn't think nothing of it. So something I noticed with my son is he's very hard on himself. He can play with blocks, and if one block is not staying the way he wants it to stay, he'll knock it down. Ugh! And he'll get upset, and he don't want to play with it no more because he's so mad. And I have to tell him, everything is not going to be perfect the first time you do it. It's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. You built it. It's okay if it fell. Build it again. Start again. So that's really important. Studying.
Michelle said it's good to support their interests.
Yes, definitely. Major keys, DJ Khaled, major keys. Support their interests. I think that's very important. Supporting their interests helps them with learning. The very basics help them with learning. And then just that helps with your relationship, because your child sees that you're excited for what they're excited for. And that's the beginning of building a bond. My mom, she saw that I like to do hair. Like, I like to play in hair. So guess what? She would get my bucket of my bobos, barrettes. You remember when we used to have, all the girls used to have the UTZ bucket with a bunch of hair stuff. And my mom would just let me play in her hair. She would let me put rollers in her hair. She let me put clips in her hair and barrettes in her hair. And that was the beginning stages of us building a bond, because for that little moment, even if it was like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, my mommy let me play in her hair.
I certainly did. And I even went as far as to make sure I go out and let her know that I'm so proud that you decided to do this. And I respect what you did and I believe in you. And I walked around the way she
and
did
hyped them up.
Exactly.
My mom had her hair this way and a piece of hair
like,
that way.
My daughter did my
My
hair.
baby did my hair.
And she was so proud that I did that.
Yes.
But we have some comments here. There was one Carnell written, but I'm not Carnell. You might want to rewrite that because I'm not exactly sure what you're stating there. But Montrese is asking questions here. She says, how do you tell your son not to look suspicious or appear aggressive with the times we're living in? And how does that conversation happen? So Montrese is asking this, in preparation for that time will come. And if anyone out there can answer, anyone can answer.
It's not just for me.
This is not just for her. This is for us all, because we are helpers of each other. And we never know who can, someone will come back to this live and be able to see that there was a response or something that can help them along the way.
Yes, I like what Michelle just said. And then
Michelle
I'll respond after her.
Okay, so Michelle says, just have a typical conversation with them and ease it in. But that conversation must take place. So that question was a response to your question, Montrese, from Michelle. That's very good there. And that's just in general.
I agree. I think having that conversation is needed. It's important. And also it just depends on the moment. Sometimes you don't plan on having that conversation. And there's no perfect time for the conversation, but it can just happen. It can just happen. So I know for my son, like he's only 3. He has no idea, doesn't know. But when we walk around the neighborhood and it's other kids, that we walk by and they kind of, do a little, how little kids could be if they see a kid that looks different from them. And they, just do a little squint, a little side. And I just say, say hello. This is your neighborhood. It's okay. Say hello, and I say, to the little boy, what, or the little girl, what's your name? And then my son would say, and I'm Ryan, hello, because it's not the looking suspicious. I think it's I want my son to be comfortable anywhere that he goes.
Yes.
I want him to be sure of himself and be able to know that, no, I am not a threat. Yes, I am a good man. Yes, I am a good guy. Yes, I respect people. No, I'm not harmful. No, I'm not dangerous. And he should feel comfortable anywhere, regardless of how anyone is looking at him or how anyone receives him. How they receive him or how people receive him is not who he is. So I teach him, even though it's so small, somebody's looking at you like this, say hello. Say hello, because they're the ones who's confused. You're not confused. You know who you are. So always remember who you are.
That's really good. So we just for the new people coming in, this is Tea Time with Tracey. We're doing Journey of Mothers with Sons. And we're just discussing some of the concerns that some mothers have that are, it may be a little, mothers of daughters have their concerns, but also mothers with sons have their concerns. And some of the things that we don't really look at that a mother with sons may be concerned about. And there's a contrast, there's a kind of different, but at the same time, it's worth discussing. So that's what we're doing here. So if any kind of concerns or thoughts that you have relating to raising your son and that you want to bring before the table, you can do that. And we'd be glad to discuss it. So we have Shannon. Shannon is saying, I've had the conversation with AJ after watching When They See Us. Even at 9 years old, he still can't grasp the times we live in. I plan to revisit the conversation at a later time. That's really good.
Yes. And you guys, like, these conversations is not a one-time thing. It's continual, because guess what your son experiences as a teenager might be different from what he sees or witnesses or experiences as a grown man. So even as a grown man, you might have to have the conversation. So you could talk to your son at 15, but then you might have to talk to him at 25 and say, son, you're on your own now. You live in a nice apartment. I have to tell you what to be on the lookout for. Be careful for this, be careful for that. You have to.
Okay, we have some fathers on here. I just want to bring them to the attention because what you're asking and what you're stating is also very important to us. And no, Thomas Hunter, you are welcome to leave your comments. And what we are speaking about is in relation to what you're saying. Same thing with Carnell. Carnell, you made mention that for decades you have concerns about losing one of your four sons. I'm going to just put that up. You said my biggest concern. Carnell said, my biggest concern was burying one of my four boys for decades. So you're saying that for decades you had that in your heart, or you was really concerned about having to go through something like that because of the times that we're living in. And so that brings us also to what Thomas is saying, Thomas Hunter. Thomas Hunter said he has three sons, 26, 22, and 16, which we all know those are critical ages. And he says, my biggest concern is that they're in Alabama, which we already know that's the country. The state. I'm sorry. That's the state, the South, the South. And he said, I had many conversations, especially with my 16-year-old, who is a football star and being 6'3", 300 pounds. So we can almost, just hearing that alone, you already know that they automatically would think of him as being a threat when he can be a gentle giant.
And yes, I'm speaking as a mother because I'm a woman, but this is just in general as a parent, whether you're a mother or father, there's a different mindset you have, or there's different thoughts in your mind when you have a son versus a daughter. And you don't, like, when it comes to your sons, unfortunately, we do have more of those thoughts of the danger of the world. Right. As a woman, I remember even with my dad speaking to me, your concern is the danger of a man. The danger of another girl being jealous of you. Right. Those are the dangers that we think of for our daughters, like mainly. Be on the lookout. But for boys, for young men, they don't just have their peers and young women, but they have the whole world that we have to teach them about because there's so much against them.
Right. And so Stephen says something really great here. Stephen Billups says, teaching your son how to be self-sufficient as he grows into a young man. That's a really good. And that takes us to what Alicia's asking. She says, how do you balance teaching your kids dependence versus independence? Now, that's a good thing that she had there. Now, I mean, again, we're speaking about the sons, but it's very important that just as well as mothers teach their daughters to how to care for themselves and be respectable and all of these things, it's important that the mothers also teach their sons about the difference between being dependent upon mom or dad and being independent. How do we go about doing that?
I will talk on really quick, even though we're talking about sons, I will, because I do a lot of things that my mom has done.
Right here.
I do a lot of things my mom has done with me. And I think, just click back to the question so people know what I'm answering.
Okay, so you're answering.
Yes.
Okay, so Cola's speaking on how do you balance teaching
versus independence.
Right. That's good.
I think it starts from a young age. I think you definitely want to start young, and then you just keep it going, and it builds as they get older. Something that I remember with my mom was my clothes. She would put out like 4 different options of an outfit, but she would let me pick the one out of her options. So she was teaching me that you still need me to show you what you need right now, because had she not done that, it'll be winter and I'll be pulling out a summer dress.
Right.
I still need my mom. She still knows what's best. So if it's winter, she's going to give me winter options, but she leaves it up to me to pick. So this goes on to, as I get older, to life. There's going to be different options. For example, when your kid decides they want to go to college, and they have all these options. They have 4 colleges that is accepting them. Now they have to pick out of those options, and they weigh their options. What do they like? What do they not like? And it starts young. So to some people it might sound funny or not like a big deal, but from a young age, she got my mind turning. So yeah, to think for myself. So I saw the 4 options, but I would think, okay, I don't like those boots. I don't like that shirt. I don't like these pants. I like this shirt. I like these shoes. I like these pants. And it got my mind rolling for, this is what's in front of me, but this is what I want out of it.
Exactly. Very good. Very good.
So I hope I answered your question, but I think it just starts young with giving them options, teaching them that you still need mommy and you still need daddy to show you, to show you what is a good opportunity. And then next, you choose what you want to do with that opportunity.
So Alicia also asks, how do you teach your children what they need, but what you're not able to teach because you don't have the skills or capability? Well, the saying really does go, you can't teach what you don't know.
Exactly.
It's just really, you really can't do that. So the thing is, but this is something that I believe, sometimes depending on who you are as a person, when I realized that there was something I didn't know, and I felt like what I wanted to know, I made a point to ask. And the thing about it is that when you have children, there's no room to be prideful. That's not the time. No, because you're going to need help in raising your children. No one person has all the answers, but you work with, that's what this is, like what we're doing here. We're helpers of one another. So let me get to some of these comments.
And really quick, I think being transparent with your child too.
Oh, yes.
If they ask you something, don't just pull an answer out your butt, or don't just say, because I said so. Like, tell them, mommy's not sure, or I'm not comfortable with this. And then you go from there. Like, you have to be honest with them. If you don't know something, I know for me as a kid, I'd rather my parents tell me that they don't know versus, and I said this, and this is what you're going to do. This is what you should do. You shouldn't do that. And it's not the best thing.
For the sake of time, I'm going to be putting up your comments while we are speaking. I may not read them out, but people get a chance to read them and see what is being stated. Because like I said, everyone's opinion and comments matter here. And someone will come back and will reread it and be able to see or maybe respond to it. But I'm going to do my best to respond to as much questions that we have come across. Okay, that's how we're going to do here. But I want to make sure that everyone's comment is seen.
Okay, so just because we do have some other interesting topics with being mothers with sons, I just want to shift gears a little bit because we've been focusing a lot on them as children and what our thoughts are and our concerns.
I'm gonna bring about this. Okay, just continue to talk.
Oh, and our concerns, but there's a lot of layers to being a parent with the son. So something else I wanted to talk about that me and my mom actually had a really good conversation about was people saying that that there's a double standard for how we raise our daughters and how we raise our sons. Yes. So I would like for you to, my mom had her opinion on it, and then I'll tell you my opinion on it.
Okay, well, the thing is that I believed, but I'm just going to speak my way. When I was carrying my daughter, I didn't know I was having a little girl. I thought I was carrying a boy child. And so my thought pattern was this. I was preparing her to be, I thought I was having a son. So my mindset was on raising this son to be aggressive, to be assertive, to think for himself, to be strong, to be able to handle himself, to know how to be strong, and just on a whole different level than what most people say that when you're raising a daughter that you do. Like, I wasn't looking at this is my little girl, I don't want her to run and play. No, I wanted her, you're going to learn how to play. You're going to know how to take care of yourself. You're going to know how to protect yourself. You're going to know how to think for yourself. You're going to be able to be assertive. It's those kinds of things I was pouring into her, but not realizing when I was speaking to someone, they says, normally that's what they say to sons. They don't normally say that to daughters. And I was my whole thing when it came to my daughter, that so that way I didn't want her to be needy. I didn't want her to feel like, she didn't she had to beg friends to girls to, to be her friend. If they don't, no, you learn to play by yourself. You be strong within yourself. That's pretty much.
So basically this conversation came up because my mom for years would say, I raised my daughter with having a son mentality.
Right.
She said that for years. So we recently got in a conversation and I told her, I said, I think people confuse teaching your kids or they I think people confuse the way you parent or the way you nurture as being sexist or being gender related. And I don't think that's true. I personally think you give to your child as far as parenting and nurturing, you give to them what is available to you in that time. For example,
that's true.
For example, a mother can have 2 sons or 2 girls, and the oldest child could say, mommy wasn't like this with me. Mommy was tough with me. Mommy was hard with me. Mommy's soft with you, to the younger one, because the younger one has a different experience. But guess what? Mommy was in a different place when she had me, and she's in a different place when she had you. When my mom had me, she was younger. She was in her 20s. Mm-hmm. She was rougher. It wasn't Minister Hines. It was just Trey Love from Fort Greene.
That's right.
So she was giving me some tough energy, but everything she was teaching is the same thing that she would teach to another mother or another daughter or son or father. She's giving the same lesson. It's just a different delivery. So I don't think there is you're soft with your daughters and you're tough on your sons. Now, of course, you're going to teach your children gender-related things because naturally there's experiences as a woman that, that your little girl's going to go through, and there's experiences that your little boy is going to go through that they just can't relate. It's going to be different teachings. However, raising them, I don't think there's a tough versus soft. I just think it's where you are as a parent at the time and what you're able to give or what you're trying to give. Also, I think it has a lot to do with what your experiences were as a child. My mom, she wanted me to have a lot of qualities that she personally felt like she was lacking.
Right.
So she was hard on me with things. Be more assertive, stand in the front, participate more, do everything. Everybody should know you. Everybody should love you. Do this, do that. I want you to play hard. She was very big on that because for me, because she felt like she wasn't like that. So she wanted me to have a certain assertiveness to myself. Is that a word, assertiveness?
Okay.
She wanted me to have that because she felt like she didn't have that.
Okay. So yes. I'm going back up a little because I want to speak to some of the questions. Alicia Kears, she put up some two good questions and I want us to address them.
Yes.
Okay. And also, Thomas, please understand, I saw your comment and I also saw yours too, Michelle, but they all tie into pretty much this question here. She was asking, as a parent, how do you know when to be your child's friend versus parent? Also, at the same time, Alicia stated, she was piggybacking off of Thomas' question regarding a 2-parent home versus a 1-parent home matter. We're going to touch on those. So let's gear our questions to that. Okay, let's gear our comments to these two things.
Yes.
Knowing the difference between when to know to be your child's friend and when to be their parent at the same time, because believe it or not, that plays a role whether how you handle things in a 2-parent home over a one-parent home. Because when you're in a one-parent home raising children, be it boy or girl, you have to do both. You really are playing. It's a whole nother level. Gotta call it talk.
I want to go to the first question.
So that's Alicia about the friends.
Yes. I say my mom is my best friend all the time, but that's just a saying. I do not put my mom in a friend category. Let's be clear. She's not in a friend category. I say she's my best friend because I go to my mom for everything. She's the first person I want to talk to. She's the last person I want to talk to. But she's my parent. She's my mother. And
I feel so special.
Something that I think she was great at, and I think works for both daughters and sons, is that when she spoke to me about things, she went back to where she was at my age. So again, transparency is such a big deal. So when I was going through my early stages of, the early boy stages, and I got my first little heartbreak, and I was so hurt. It was in junior high school. I was so hurt by this boy that hurt my feelings, and I wanted to cry. And I decided to hide my tears because I just knew my mom was going to bark on me and yell at me about crying over some boy. I just knew it. And she ended up catching me crying. And when she asked me, I tried to brush it off. But when I officially told her why, and it was over a boy, instead of her giving me the speech about boys and don't be crying over no boy, and you too young for that, because I was in junior high school, I had to be like 12. And, instead of giving me that speech, she looked at me, she said, I remember when I was your age. I remember my first little heartbreak. It's okay to cry. You don't got to let them see you cry, but it's okay to cry. Those moments where I think it's important, where it's like I didn't see her as a friend. She was still my mom, but I saw her as a mom who understood me. And that opened the door where I said, I can go to my mom about anything because she understands. She's not talking to me. She's talking to me as a mother because she wants the best for me, but she's still talking to me on my level. So she's parenting on my level, if that makes sense. At no point did I ever feel like I was being scolded. At no point did I ever feel like I was being judged. At no point did I ever feel like she was telling me what to do. She was letting me have my moment. She was basically I say the referee, but she was like the mentor or the guidance counselor, like guiding me through my experiences, if that makes sense. So I think that's important because I say being a child's friend is when you're like hyping them up, like, yeah, or if you don't, because my friends could give me but so much advice because we in the same boat. Your parents should not be in the same boat as their kid because you experience more. So you should know more and you know better. So you should do better and you should want them to do better. So we should not be in the same boat. You should just be able to reach out to me at my level, but still guiding me, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. So I have to, just y'all bear with me a moment here because like I said, your opinions, we're going to go a little longer, but your opinions matter here. It's very important what you're stating and what you're writing. So I'm just going to go right on into it. And I'm going to I'm going back to Thomas's comment and also back to Michelle. Thomas put in here because he took the time to write it. So I want to take the time to read it. But before I get to him, I think Alicia
had one more question.
Alicia had one more question prior to that. And her question was, no, before that, she did something.
That was the one before.
I missed the whole thing from Alicia.
Sorry, you guys. Yeah. We just want to make sure this is a conversation. Wrote,
how do you teach your children what they need, but what you're not able to teach because you don't have the skill?
We spoke about that.
We sure did. Okay.
I'm pregnant, but she has a pregnancy brain.
Hey, listen, okay. but we're trying here because, like I said, you are very important. Alicia says, how do you assess if your parenting is effective? Like, how do you rate your parenting? Well, I was told that, and I'm going to tell you what I was told. I was told that
Can we find that?
Oh, okay. Go
just
up.
so everyone knows.
Right.
She's going to answer, but here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone
Alicia
can see.
says, how do you assess if your parenting is effective? Like, how do you rate your parenting? I don't know if you yourself can rate your parenting, but those that are watching your life and watching your children, I was told that we know your parenting by the way your children turn out. And I don't know if that's always true, because I've seen where there were parents who were not, say, on the right path when it comes down to raising their children, but yet those children turn out to be very well balanced, well together children. But I'm sure there's some things that were missing in the backdrop. But overall, so I don't know if there's really a rate card when it comes down to parenting, because we're forever learning, we're forever growing, we're forever building. So it's trial and error, honey. But my thing is to do your best as you go, and that you study your children, and that you also acknowledge them. Acknowledge, hey, listen, I am not God. I do not have all the answers, but what I would give you what I know. One of the things I told Cola, when you're little, when you're young, you're gonna love me. When you're older, you're gonna judge me. And it's okay, because you are entitled to feel what you feel. But know this, I did was best for me to do concerning you to my best of my ability, but I try to learn as I go. And if there's anything now that I can't undo yesterday, but I can certainly make it right as I go along. And I think that's the best concept and mindset that we should have when it comes down to raising children, be it girl or boy. Can I get some hearts?
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
Totally. She said it perfectly. I have nothing to add.
Okay. Now, Thomas he had a great concern about, because Thomas is stating here, he said, it's hard sometimes to have that time. Now that I'm in the situation, my adult children had me during their teenage years, but his 16-year-old don't have them. So he's concerned about not being able, because his family dynamics change. So he's not able to be there for his children, for some of his children, as he was for the older children. And sometimes that happens, Thomas. But the thing is, you make good on what the time that you have, because it's not about quantity time, how much time. It's about the quality of the time, because quality over quantity always win. Quality over quantity always win. What makes it quality? Meaning that how much involved are you in them? How much are you listening to them? How much are you learning from them? How much are you that your children feel like my daddy is not, you don't have to be in the present to feel the presence. You have people in a home with children and not present, not available to them, where you can have someone who's not in the home, but very much involved with the life of that child, that the child don't even feel they're absent. Am I right with that, y'all? Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts?
Yes.
Come on, let's go on down. And Michelle, I saw what you were writing. Michelle put some stuff there. Okay. She says, I have a 30-year-old son. I worry all the time. When I finally allowed him to be independent, tough love, and he is doing amazing, raised around all women. And I believe that's possible. It can be all women in the household raising a male. They can turn out okay. She said, I believe that is one of the reasons he has so much respect for women. I had to cut the cord. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Okay. I missed some people, but I'm glad you all are here. Please just continue. Stephen wrote something. Oh, wait. What did you say, Thomas? Speaking as a father, I believe that my presence must be felt. Okay. They must know that they can reach, and that's what I was saying. Exactly.
Yes, you said your comment is everything.
Yeah.
That
I already said, right. And Stephen says something. Now, Stephen and I grew up as a childhood, and he was making mention of my father. He said, I was raised by a single mom, and she only was able to teach me from a woman aspect. But I learned from watching my friends' fathers, like your mom, dad, and he was a powerful example of how to be as a man and taking care of his family And I'll never forget that. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Stephen. I thought my dad did the best he could too. You know, yes, I try to be a friendly mom, Michelle. I know that was in relation to what I was saying, but a mother.
Yes.
Jeannie
exactly.
says, you're absolutely right. We as parents want you to be a better person. We learn by listening and living as a child to an adult. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Alicia says, I'm just.
Okay. You don't have to read
Okay.
that. She's gonna comment again.
You don't have to zoom in on my questions. Okay. Got you. Thank you. Because you see me, right?
Just trying to make sure everybody
because
gets
I don't
heard.
want exactly. I want everyone to know that if you can take the time to write it, I want to take the time to read it.
Yes, and
This
really
is the
quick, I
difference.
forgot who made the comment. I think it was Michelle saying how her son was raised around all women. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that just like I think that it's strong, like, or that you have to show your sons what they should do or how they should be around women. That's important, because a lot of times we stick to trying to teach them how to carry themselves, what to look out for, and every now and then, and it's the same thing with girls, that the how you treat the opposite sex gets missed, because we talk so much about what to look out for from them. Like, you tell boys, don't watch out from them fast tail girls, and then you tell girls, watch out from them boys because of what they want. But what about teaching them how you supposed to treat the opposite sex instead of what the negative to look out for? So me as a young woman, my dad, we had father-daughter dates.
Yes.
And my dad showed me how a man should treat me on a date. He didn't just tell me what not to look, what to the things that I shouldn't have. He didn't just say, don't let no guy do this or don't let no guy do that. But he showed me what a guy should do. So he bought me flowers. He picked me up from school. We took a nice cab to the city. We'll go to a restaurant. He pulled out my chair. He pushed in my chair. He asked me what I wanted to order. He let me order first. He'll take my jacket off, put it on the chair, or he'll put my jacket on. Like, he taught me these things to look for. And it's the same having a son. I know one of my close friends, we both always talk about our mother-son dates. Those are important. It's important to have that time with your sons so they can see how they should be around a woman, and not just what to look out for. But you can have fun with mommy. Girls are fun too. We can play rough too. We're gonna play football in the park, mommy and son. So now that just opens your son's eyes that, oh, all girls, some girls like to play football. Or letting your son teach your son how to treat you on a date. Say, okay, son, we're going to a restaurant. Can you open my door? You open your door for women. Thank you very much. You say you're welcome. Those all of that adds up. I just think it's important to put in some positivity along with the what to look out for. Don't just focus on what to look out for, but let's also tell them how they should be, or how,
because in general, that's just in general, it's easy to say what not to do, but then tell me what to do.
Well, yeah, tell me what to do. You steady telling me 2 + 2 is 4, and I think 2 + 2 is 22. But tell me, take your time with me. Tell me how. Tell me, what to do. And now I know.
And so Montrese was she was responding to what I was saying about how do you rate parenting, and that, I think I was saying she was just stating that her mother did a wonderful job with her raising her, but that doesn't mean the way that she acted. I was talking about how, you can tell how a child was raised properly, or was a parent that did well, or was affected rather by the way a child is. But her mother did a wonderful job, but yet she responded a different way than what her mother was raising her. And there's a possibility of that. You can have the best, you can give your child the best, you can do all the right things, and that doesn't mean that your child is going to turn out on the way that you would like to see them or hope to see them. But at the end of the day, they still have their own character. They have their own personality. Yes. So you have to know that there's only but so much that you can do. But as a parent, I says there's a difference between between doing the best you can over doing all you can, because sometimes your best isn't your all.
And also, I'm happy we went back to this question because, first of all, I don't think that we should ever try to or rate our parenting skills because or look at how our kids are doing, and that determines how we are as parents. Because I think that the way your kids the way they turn out to be or the things that they do is not 100% you as a parent. I think it's 50-50. It's 50% what they get from their parents and 50% of their own experiences. Because a lot of times kids react because of what they see in school or on social media or maybe their other family. And it has nothing to do with mommy and daddy. Nothing to do. It's just that their own experiences or even their own emotions, you know, it has, sometimes it's not, so we can't just say like, how can I rate or assess, you know, or know if I'm doing a good job. I say you stay prayed up and you ask God to continue to cover your children wherever they go and just continue to do your best.
And also, Michelle put down on the very bottom, because she was commenting on what you're saying, that also, she said, you don't compare your children to others.
No. Don't do that. Listen, we had a little moment when I was younger.
I'm going to be very honest with you. I've done that. I've done that to her at times. And I didn't realize how often that I was doing it until she brought it to my attention. And you don't, and it can be very harmless.
Yes.
It's harmless to you who's doing it, but it's very offensive and it can affect your child who's receiving it.
Yes.
So we must be very careful about that.
I never forget.
Like, I am not so-and-so.
Anybody who knows La Rose, we was in the sandwich store and she said something so minor, like something so small that some people would just brush over their shoulders. And I just was so upset. I am not them. Stop comparing me.
And I was like,
and she she was so shook because she didn't realize it.
That I was doing
that
to
she
her.
was doing that.
As a parent, like I said, with everything, there's trial and error. And then you forget, because sometimes it's so quick. We are so quick to look at our child that what we say goes.
Mm-hmm.
They have feelings, they have hearts, they have minds, they have opinions, they have, and it should be respected. Period.
And parents, it's okay to apologize to your kids.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
It's okay to let them know, sorry, my bad.
Right.
I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't recognize I was hurting your feelings. And let them know that, because
you don't know the damage that you can do.
And sometimes, honestly, that's all kids need. Sometimes it's just for our parents to just be real and just say, I was wrong. Because what happens a lot, and sorry, real quick, we just going off the son thing, but what happens a lot is that parents, you know, they're so quick to tell us if we did something, say if we said something to our mom or our dad, you watch your mouth, you better apologize. You know, and the kid don't even know what they said or realize the offense, but we have to apologize. And some parents feel like they don't have to. And that can cause the beginning of causing some stuff, because a kid is like, you never apologized to me, you hurt my feelings, or and then it goes from that to you ignore the way I feel. And I feel neglected by my feelings. I feel neglected emotionally, those things. So apologize to your kids. If you wrong, it's okay. Apologize and move on.
Can I get some hearts? You know, the hearts warm my heart. We're going to be just a little bit. So Montrese had asked a question and we need to address it. She said, do you believe that phase where men can't love a woman properly because he never seen anyone love his mother? Sometimes that's a whole nother thing there.
That's
a juicy one.
That's deep. That's like a whole nother tea time.
Yeah, that's a whole nother tea time, Montrese. I thank you for that comment. And I think we will address that's going to be a tea talk topic.
Yes.
The
Really,
tea topic.
really quick. I just want to kind of lean off the comments really quick because this is a last major topic. I don't want to go too far over, but this is a last major topic with being mother or parents to sons that I wanted to talk about is the events in life, the big parts of life that as a mom we don't realize that we you don't experience it. You don't.
Please listen to this. Okay?
I definitely want to talk about that.
Real quick. Just want to say to you real quickly. Okay, we're gonna deviate from this because the hours was real spent. But this is something that I spoke to her that I really want to make sure that we address and talk about, because you know what, there is a difference between what a mother views or some of the mothers. The way things are for a mother with the son,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that things are with a mother with a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of try to summarize everything and put it in one, so it's not long-winded. Yes. So if you guys don't know or haven't really seen any of my personal life, I'm really close to my mother-in-law, like really, really close. Like I could say in front of my mom, she's my second mom. She's my other mom. And in front of my mom, I call my mom mommy. I call my mother-in-law mama. And sometimes I say mama and they both say yes. And the reason I'm bringing her up is because my mother-in-law is the mother to 4 sons. She has no daughters. She has 4 kids and they're all boys. Well, men now. She's a mother of just men. So she has not experienced, she does not know what it's like to have a daughter. Her closest experience to having a daughter is me. And the reason I'm also bringing this up is because this has a lot to do with something that I realized now being a mother to a son and also being a wife to my husband, is that number one, as a young woman, so if there's any single women out there, or if there's any women out there who is struggling with having a relationship with their mother-in-law, yes, things are a two-way street. All relationships are a two-way street. You want to get what you're giving. However, I think it's very important as a woman to ask whoever you're dating or who you're with how many kids their mother has or how many sons they have, because that plays a role in their experiences. So my mother-in-law, something I realized with her being a mother to boys, is that there's a lot that she doesn't get to experience because she has sons. That my mom, my mother-in-law has 4. My mom has 1. But guess what? My mom has a bunch of experiences that she expected and had that my mother-in-law can't have. Guess what? Unless the woman that her son is with has our relationship with her. For example, my mom, as soon as me and my husband were engaged to be married, instantly, my mom is in mommy-daughter mode. Oh, we got to get your dress. We got to do the invitations. We got to pick your flowers. We got to get your shoes. We got to do your hair. We got to do a party. She's all in this mommy-daughter mode because, oh my God, my daughter's getting married. She's the bride. I am the mother of the bride. So she has this big moment. And even though most weddings, the mom of the bride is not included the day of, the mother of the bride has the entire process that she's involved in. And a lot of times the mother of the groom has one moment.
And that's the
dance. And so outside of that, they may or may not have any involvement in the wedding at all, because it's the fiance, the soon-to-be wife. So women who's dating, or women who are trying to build that relationship, yes, you have to, or you should want to build a relationship with your husband, your soon-to-be husband, even your boyfriend. When my husband was my boyfriend, I felt like I should build a relationship with his mother. First of all, she has 4 boys, and my husband was her baby. So I said, wait a minute.
That's going to be drama.
This going to be tough. This going to be tough. But I took it upon myself to make sure that I built a relationship with her to show that we both have a place in your son's heart and there's no competition.
Exactly.
None. I love you just as much as your son loves you. You mean as much to me as much as you mean to him. You're important to me. I want to build the relationship. I'm coming into your world, so I want us to build something. I did that when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and it just progressed as I became a fiance and a wife and a mother to his children. But that's important because that's something that it just clicked to me that when you have sons or when you have a son, there are certain things it's not a given. And it's unfortunate, but it's not a given. When your son becomes a father, it's not a given that you're gonna have a close relationship with your grandchild. I'm sorry, it's not given. The way a mother to the one giving birth knows, oh, my grandbaby. She knows for a fact because I'm around my mom. My mom, I'm always gonna be my mom, so my baby gonna see my mom. But unfortunately, the mothers to sons, they can't think like that. They can't have the automatic, because guess what? It's gonna always go according to the mother of the child, the woman that your son is with, your son's wife, your son's girlfriend, your son's fiance. And it's very unfortunate, but also mothers who have sons that are dating and bringing women in, guess what? Which we might have a different conversation when my son is dating, but I'm talking as the one who came in. My mother-in-law, of course, she kept her eye on me, but she was very welcoming with me. She loved me, and she treated me with kindness. She treated me with respect. And then when we got married, the number one thing she always told me was, I want to be the mother-in-law that I never had.
Wow.
So that was in her heart to be that way. But moms, we got to be open too. We can't be, with our nose up in the air to a young woman that our son brings home. Of course, we got to assess. She got to be a good woman. She can't be any old thing off the street. But when we see how she is with our son, we have to be welcoming, because the biggest or the worst thing is for a man to be in between the woman he loves and his mother. That's very tough. And guess what? Another thing is that you want that mother to feel involved.
Oh, this is good. Michelle just put something. You stay right where you at.
Okay.
And answer Michelle.
Michelle says, what if that just doesn't work? Do you choose between mom and relationship? And that's from both angles. So help me if I want to make sure I'm understanding right.
Okay. But she's stating that when it comes down to, okay, what you're saying is, what if what you're saying doesn't work? So what happens to that son? Does that son choose between his relationship with the woman that he loves over choosing his mom on both ends? Whether I choose my mom because she can't get along, my girlfriend can't get along with my mom, so I can't be with her, or I choose my woman over my mother because my woman is my woman. My mother,
well,
how do you handle? How would you handle that?
Here's the thing. That's not a simple answer to a question, but I will say it starts from the foundation.
Wait, hold up. She says she's seen a few train wreck girlfriends.
So. Okay, so go back. Just so
to her.
Yes, and we're not gonna stay too long.
Yeah, we get ready.
Yes, I'll be back another time, you guys. This is so juicy. But the thing is that, unfortunately, a lot of things start from the foundation. Me and my mother-in-law, we didn't come together as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law.
Right.
I started as girlfriend and my boyfriend's mom. That's how it started. So sometimes unfortunately is the foundation. And if things start off wrong, a lot of times it will just continue wrong. And if there's years put in and you just see that this woman is not going anywhere, and this is what he set his heart, this is who he set his heart on, then this has to be a full sit down. Has to be mommy, has to be son, and it has to be mom. And not a pointing the finger and saying what you did wrong and what I don't like about you and what you said and how you act or how you made me feel. But it's where was there imbalance? Because you can't just meet somebody and you just don't like them.
That's just normally not.
You just can't.
Something
had to happen. You can't just look at somebody and just say, nope, don't like them. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. So there has to be an assessment between the mother and the daughter or the girlfriend. There has to be an assessment, because guess what? It's the way the mom could be carrying herself. It could be both. The way the mom is carrying herself around this young woman, and it's the way the woman is carrying herself around the young man. Because guess what? At the end of the day, the number one thing y'all could say that y'all have in common is y'all love the man that's in between y'all. That's the number one thing you could say you have in common. So y'all both love him. There has to be something where you can figure out how to lift that burden of you guys bumping heads off of him. And if that means just closing your mouth and not saying how you feel all the time until you get to a point where, okay, now I could just be transparent with you, then so be it.
And also, I would think too, it comes about the respect matter. If the mother respects her son, and the son respects his mother, more than likely he's not going to just bring anything around his mom.
Mm-hmm.
You would like to know that your son has character, he has response, he has a different.
He looks for substance.
He looks for substance. So therefore, if he brings someone to you, you should have in your mind that my son is well balanced, well capable of making the right decision, bringing the right type of woman in his life, hopefully. And so there's come a time where you have to look at that. And so if he's bringing her to you, he's bringing her to you. That means she means something to him. So why would you cause havoc or issues or all kinds of disturbances if he brought her to you? You must understand, first and foremost, that your son loves you and respect you enough to know that I'm going to bring something. She's presentable. At least he believed her to be. So you as a mother, you can bring out something in her that may have been laying dormant or may want not to come out. But it's all kinds of ways how we need to look at that.
Definitely.
Alicia says, don't be a monster-in-law.
No, do not be a monster-in-law.
So it's that kind of thing. It's all about the perception. It's all about how we have to see and handle those things. And that's on both levels. Even with your daughter, same thing with your son. On that particular note, yes, I believe that that's how we ought to see a thing. So for it to be a greater outcome. And everything is about your perception and how you go in it. But our time is well spent. So I'm going to let Paula say her last reminder. And go ahead, and then I'm going to do my thing.
Well, literally, you guys, this is a topic where we could just keep going on and on. Michelle, this was so amazing. I just want you guys to see clearly, you're witnessing that my mom, she looks at everything you guys say. She pays attention to every single comment that is written, and she looks at every single question that is asked. And if she sees something that she knows that this is good and I want to answer this and I want to make this a topic, she will. So as you guys can see, Michelle, we had a beautiful, awesome conversation. It will continue another time, and just keep pouring in your comments, keep pouring in your questions. And of course, like my mom says, can I get some hearts? Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. I loved tonight, you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for always welcoming me and keeping the conversation live when I come on. I appreciate it.
It
I'm
was
gonna
magnificent.
leave the floor to my mama. This was
Thank you,
awesome.
Precious.
Mwah.
Thank you, Derry. So, tea time is there. You have it. The journey of mothers with sons. This was absolutely awesome on tonight. I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to tune in with Tea Time with Tracey. I really appreciate you. Your comments are valuable here. We value you. We value your time. We value your consistency and your ability to come in and just tune in. And as I said, we are helpers of one another. We know everything is about relationship, be it mother and daughter relationship, mother and son relationship. All relationships matter. They're important. They're important in the sight of God's eye, but we do know that we have an enemy after our soul, and he does not like to see us in unity. And whenever he can rear his head, he will. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time out and continue to follow me, continue to, stay in tune with us. We're going to have a lot of great topics going forward, but also please understand if there's a specific topic you would like to see discussed here on Tea Time with Tracey that you believe would be a great enlightenment and it will be encouraging and inspirational, or just something that you want to see, hear the comments of others, be sure to inbox me. I'll be sure to make sure that that will be a topic of discussion as we do with Michelle Jenkins. Again, we want to say thank you, Michelle, for your a suggestion that we do this segment on the journey of a mothers with sons. Like I said, your mothers and sons relationship matter, as well as mothers and daughters. I do want to bring to your attention that come September 14th, up and coming, September 14th, I'm going to have a major segment called The Love of My Brother, The Love of My Brothers. And I have 7 panelists that will be on, male who are very well-rounded, men who were in my life, who gave me some great instruction that helped me along the way. Just like, they say it takes a village to raise a family. A lot of times there are women who are mothers who do not have any male figures in their life to help instruct them or just help them along the way with raising their sons or raising their daughters. I would like for you to hear from these great men that were very inspirational in my life in terms of when I was raising my daughter and the help that I received from them. So I want you all to be sure to tune in with me. Please stay with me for the next couple of months. Next couple of weeks, we're going to be diving into a well-rounded topics relating to mothers with sons, mothers with daughters, family as a whole unit. So I want to say thank you again. And as you all know, I never sign off without compelling men and women to give their life to Christ. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I accepted him many years ago, and it was the best thing I've ever done. And I will recommend that you accept him today. For all you have to do, according to the Bible in Romans 10:9, it says, confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died and God rose him from the dead. So shall you be saved. And so that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And I always say to my viewers that Jesus is the best thing that ever happened to me and the best thing that will ever happen to you. So if you have said unto yourselves, as I'm speaking to you, Lord Jesus, come into my life. I accept you as Lord and Savior. I repent. Forgive me of my sins. I believe that God, that you died for me and that God rose you on the 3rd day so that I can be redeemed back onto him. And now you are saved. That's all it takes. And so the only thing I ask of you is that you find yourself to a Bible-based church. And if you don't have one, you are welcome to join the church in which I belong. And that is Full Effect Gospel Ministries, where my bishop is Bishop Archie L. McGinnis II, and my first lady is Dr. Cynthia McGinnis. They are well-rounded leaders who have instructed me in the word and have great support, great workers in the kingdom, and they will certainly help guide you along the way. So again, thank you all for tuning in with Tea Time with Tracey. I look forward to meeting with you on next Monday with another awesome topic, and stay in tune with me, okay? God bless you. Thank you. Goodbye. Tea Time with Tracey. This was marvelous. And again, I want to say thank you to Cola for tuning in with us, for joining us on tonight. So thank you all. God bless you.